Hey, you guys, and welcome to the Steele Wars Hyperchat. It is Monday, the 14th of June, 2021. After a break for a couple of reasons we might get into, we are back for a special Monday show, and joining us to welcome me with open arms and open bandwidth back onto the internet from the Canto Bight Dispatch, my friend and hopefully yours. In New York City, this introduction just keeps going on, but now it comes to the end as I introduce, finally, without further ado, a lady that should go without the need for introduction, but here it is, overly long. It's still going. Welcome, Emily Lind.
Hey.
All that build up for that.
I mean, how you doing, buddy? It's good to have you back.
I'm good. Can you tell that I'm cooped up?
Man.
So listen, if you're watching visually, I've got a black eye of sorts and a giant bump there that is gone far down. If you want to hear the backstory, this week's Bad Motivators podcast, I go into graphic detail of this unlikely of stories. So also, as my sign says, I've just moved. So I just set this up very quickly because I was very urgent when I did it, because I was just listening to the last Canto Bight Dispatch and Emily Lind was spitting about people that keep her waiting. And I think she said she forgave a 5 minute, 10 minutes was pushing it. So I was like, I got to get this set up before 4 o'clock or it's dark times. And then I started thinking about all the times I have kept you waiting, and that built up Michael Douglas falling down-esque aggression you must have.
It's not quite as bad waiting for people for like things like this or Zoom calls or stuff. Like, I only get slightly annoyed. It's mostly if I am at a restaurant or waiting outside a movie theater that I start to get very angry.
Oh, excellent. So you welcome the virtual waiting.
I don't welcome it, but I am more tolerant of it.
Oh, are you tolerant of this comment from Chris Fresh that Emily's pictures in the background aren't level?
I mean, look, I have a lot of problems with Chris Fresh, but this is definitely on the list.
I should point out, June 14th, the birthday of someone that, like, PayPal should be making a monument of this man for all the purchases he has inspired. Got the book out, especially Stephen J. Sansweet's birthday today, who definitely, with his little book here, From Concept Screen to Collectible, sparked my my other side of childhood, the other side of puberty, Star Wars fandom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you became a man.
I don't know about that. I think we're still waiting for some test results to come in for that one, metaphorically, of course. But yeah, I feel like this is the first thing that really got me into Star Wars after tonguing another person. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because it's after you've tongued someone, it better be a good book to get you back into Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? Because that tonguing, hard to beat.
Okay.
I thought these were the sort of open topics you discussed.
No, I was surprised because you are normally a little more mature than us over at the Canto Bight Dispatch.
Wow. What a veiled insult.
I don't know which one of us is insulting, but
that's the best part. That's the best part. That's what the internet's for. So everyone, if you can do something that insults everyone in different, unique ways, that's a marvelous bit of wordplay. But hey, coming up on the little stream, we're going to talk about some Obi Wan set spoilers. Boba Fett flashbacks are confirmed. My theory is coming to fruition, and we'll get to this pretty soon. There are rumors, Emily, of Saw Gerrera, a great man, a great character, but for us, more importantly, Mendo. Director Orson Krennic is rumored. I try to be warm of heart.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to have ill will for my fellow person. If this website just got this from sources, I can feel a vendetta coming on.
Yeah. Because I have been preparing myself for him to not be on the show. Because, I mean, we've already got a lot of characters on it. And Ben Mendelsohn's a busy man. He's doing lots of other projects.
Mm-hmm. But he's also signing those Disney contracts.
Yeah. But I've been trying to not get my hopes up and just be like, I just want it. You know, I don't need to know. It'll be okay if he's there. It's a great surprise. If not, it's fine. But if somebody has gotten my hopes up only to dash those hopes, I'm going to be furious.
We might have to smite them.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a good idea. Form a smiting pack.
Yeah. We'll get into that rumor. But first of all, there's nothing I love more, Emily, than a poll on the internet. Right?
You do love your polls.
What did you think of this week's Bad Batch Battle Scars? A tremendous response as far as people enjoying the sweet content. 54.9% said huge thumbs up. So they went to the ballpark, got one of those foam thumbs, had Bad Batch printed on it, and they're hanging it up. 34.5 said thumbs up. So that's like 90% thumbs up. 8.9% thumbs in the middle, and 1.7% with the thumbs down. Where was your thumb pointed, Emily? And for what reasons?
I think I am at thumbs up. I thought it was a good episode. I think maybe part of it was I was just surprised because I was expecting the inhibitor chip storyline to go on a little bit longer, and I was expecting there'd be like a search for Rex and lots of talk about Rex, and then they'd find Rex. So I was just sort of taken aback, and it seemed maybe a little quick. So I kind of need to know where they are going from here, and if the next point in the storyline is really, really good, then I'm glad we just got this out of the way. And there was some great stuff in it. I think there were some good moments, and I especially liked Omega's connection with Wrecker. I thought that was very sweet. I just adore her so much.
Omega can do no wrong.
Yeah, she's just brilliant. But I was very surprised that in the same episode they realized there is a problem with Wrecker and that problem is solved. I thought that was going to be on down the line.
Yeah, I think like yourself, I thought that whole storyline would drag out. In a manner of speaking, would take longer to do. Hey, you know what my favorite thing about Omega is? It's how she says, "Oh, it didn't work. Why is the sound? Why is there no sound? What's up with that? Did you hear the sound?"
No, there was no sound.
Wait there. I'll try. Okay. This is what this is.
This is a vibe check.
Okay, so Aubrey's there to tell me it's a vibe check, but all right. For some reason, it's her saying blaster.
Oh.
Blaster. Love it. Can't get enough. Lidra, hey, I just got back on the internet, lady. Don't bully me off. You know what I'm saying? Do not bully me off. Speaking of bullying, Chris Fresh says, I'm off to bed. Look forward to the audio in 10 to 15 business days. Love to you both. Hey, I worked out a way to very quickly get this on within the same half hour on the Patreon audio. And I got stuck in all these things of like, I had to put it into this program and change the name so that it was like, you put these barriers in front of yourself, Emily, and you need to get rid of them because no one's looking at that the names match up every day for 7 years. No one checks.
They just want to hear our sweet, sweet podcasting content.
Excellent. Yeah, I really liked it. It didn't have the emotional resonance that it did for some harder core Clone Wars fans, but I really enjoyed it. I've spoken about this a couple times. I did Kessel Run Radio and the Convor Call to recap the episode. But you know what I want to happen? This cartoon has been quite good in getting rid of some of the things that I dislike about Star Wars animation. Minimal tripping over. Yes. Wreckers, he's headbutting a lot of stuff, but minimal tripping over. And they learn their lessons. Like when, like there was that episode where they got Omega the comm link and they said, go back to the ship. She went back to the ship. Ezra would have been hiding around the first rock and looking for a way to get back in straight away, right? Omega back to the ship. And the next thing I would like them to get rid of is when they hint that there's a monster just out of eye's sight, they just don't follow up on it. Like the water burbles and they go, "Whoa, let's watch out for the water." And they do. And that's it. Because it's just such like it, like you now know what's happening in 10 minutes time in the show.
Yeah. I also just laughed or just like stay above the waterline. And like, I don't think anybody was going into that dank, disgusting water for any reason anyway. So you don't need to telegraph it quite that much.
Yeah, that's like telling your child, hey, don't light yourself on fire and let balloons go in the middle of that freeway. What? Huh? It's a freeway. Why would I be fire? Hope he doesn't overhear that. He's not here. It's fine. The cutting room floor says, honestly, I'm more worried about Wrecker's eventual post-concussion syndrome than this bloody inhibitor chip. I got to tell you, as someone that suffered a concussion in the last 2 weeks, this storyline is getting all too real. It is. I used to laugh and edit them headbutting things, and now it's like it's very triggering, Emily.
He hits his head a lot.
I got to tell you, this hitting your head business, it hurts.
Yeah, you should try to avoid it in the future.
That's my new plan. So we'll get there. All right, let's go. We'll do this one first as it's sort of, it fits in with the whole topic of Rogue One characters coming into Andor. This is from StarWarsNews.net. Very comprehensive Star Wars news site with all the major tid and bits. But it's rumored that Forrest Whitaker is coming back as Saw Gerrera. And this one sounds like it's super confirmed because Stellan Skarsgård, thank you, spoke of Whitaker's involvement in the Andor series while speaking on Savurgi's radio. Can you fix that pronunciation up for us?
I have no idea on that one.
Okay, wow, checkmate. He just he mentions that he filmed a scene with him somewhere in here. So that is pretty sick. Saw Gerrera. He is the he's becoming the new Ahsoka Tano, just popping up in media event after media event, Emily. But who is this website? According to sources tied to the Direct, we will be seeing the return of Orson Krennic, the main villain of Rogue One, at some point in the first season. The role is unclear. Assumptions. There's nothing else to confirm this. Let's go to the Direct. Do you know this way? Oh, I recognize that logo. This is a pretty big website, isn't it?
Yeah. It's one I had sort of vaguely heard of. And so it's one of those things where it could go either way, which is, on the one hand, I haven't heard of them in the way that I know that, like, Vanity Fair is a good source for things. On the other hand, I haven't heard of them in the same, like, we got it covered where I know it's complete bull. So sometimes I feel like not having heard their name a ton is an okay thing.
Okay, let us know. I'm trying to find their, like, about us, contact us. They don't have, like, where's their social media link? I just want to see how many Twitter followers they have. Not that proves that they're right or wrong, but it definitely, it is like one of those big websites, yeah.
Yeah, they have like when I was looking at their Twitter, it's like they had one for Star Wars tweets and one for Marvel tweets, and I think one for DC as well.
Okay, well, the Direct. I know, quite small in the scheme of websites. Wow. We can only hope that scooping this amazing Ben Mendelsohn news will propel the Direct to great success in the internet entertainment pop culture marketplace. What say you, Emily?
I need it to be true now that somebody has reported it as true. Like, once again, like, I was preparing myself for him not to be in it, but now I've gotten my hopes up. And so if we don't hear anything else about it, I'm going to be watching every episode being like, where's Krennic? Where's Krennic? And that's not a way to watch a show.
Isn't it?
I mean, it's maybe not giving it the fairest shot of This episode gets a D because there's no Ben Mendelsohn in it.
Gets an N. Gets an NK. No Krennic. Boo. This is even a twist on the rumor, a bitter twist for Emily. If there's a Mendo, will there be a Tarkin from Devesh? So that'd be a...
Now, I know there were rumors about that before. I think maybe even that Corey and Noah had reported on. That he was going to be in it. And then, because then there was a follow-up where Guy Henry was talking about how he hadn't been asked to play the role again. And so there were a lot of questions over who, if anybody, was going to be doing it.
Well, James says, all I want for Christmas is another Krennic fanfic.
Well, if he's on the show, then I will have inspiration.
Excellent. The Emily writes a amazing erotic fan fiction for us for the Star Wars Celebration live show. So listen, if join Patreon, it's $3. Go to the live show. You can watch it in video or audio, and your experience
I recommend,
as a Star Wars fan will
I recommend the video.
Change. The video is something. So there is that, and it's I think, like, I saw on Twitter someone said like, oh, all these rumors for a show no one's excited for, or whatever, no one asked, whatever, and I'm like, these are characters from $1 billion film.
Yeah,
like, a lot of people dropped a lot of cash to see what they're up to, and they're also, as far as like fan response go, they're characters that a vaster amount of fans agree on with the thumbs up. You know, most people are pretty pro Rogue One, so this could be like, the more you think about it, it's like that's a cool slither of Star Wars to get into, and I think it could be a sleeper hit, Emily. That's what I'm saying.
And I think people like spy shows and espionage stuff, and I think it's gonna hook some people who might not watch every Star Wars show. If you can sell this as like a crazy spy drama.
Yeah, I think it's going to be that, like, this is just a snowballing thing. Like, you look at the Marvel, their highest watching debut episode was Loki this week on a Wednesday. So it's doing that sort of endgame thing where it's, you know, it's sort of building momentum. So I hope Star Wars can, you know, with these new shows, it's interesting. You know, like the Bad Batch's animation is, like, even on its release day, it was like 8 or 9 slides deep on the Disney header page. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's an odd choice.
Well, I think it's just based on demand.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you look at the ones, there's like ones before it, like the Disney remix shows, and I don't really, they all, you know, Mighty Ducks
is pretty good.
Yeah, but there's a couple of those where I'm sort of like, that's some Disney thing. And, you know, Loki was number 1. But, yeah, it was interesting that the Bad Batch, I haven't seen it like for the last couple of weeks before the first 8. So that's, there's like, if you want to talk about the algorithm, what order those things go in, that's some deep algorithmics from Bobby I and the squad. Alex says, isn't the budget super high for Andor with the set pics and everything? It seems like it's one long movie. The set pics look amazing, of that village and all that good stuff. Have you seen all those, Emily?
Yeah, I've been trying to not go too deep into spoiler town because I'm really excited about the show. But I do like, you know, like, oh, there's trees and things, and that's good to see.
Trees?
It's not a desert.
Dude, they're space trees. Give them the respect that they deserve.
There's like a river or a lake or something. Space lake. Who doesn't like a good space lake?
Love a space lake. I'm just looking for this one. Here we go. I feel like I had it open already. But I had theorized, we'll talk a bit about the book of Boba Fett, that it was going to have flashbacks based on the fact that he changes up his armor in The Mandalorian, and it would give a visual cue between what was happening in real time, or, you know, now the time of The Mandalorian in Jabba's palace, and then times when it's back in the past in Jabba's palace or other places, and he'd be in the old Empire Strikes Back bashed up outfit. Now, I am dying, praying that what we have, whatever it's called, Disney Gallery, the Book of Boba Fett, and Dave Filoni's there with his hat, and he's like, you know, we changed up the color of Boba Fett, so then when we had the different timelines, there was a visual cue. You know, there's a visual cue. I would lose my marbles to have my theory confirmed in such a way. Do you have an issue, Emily?
I mean, I had an issue with your impression of Dave Filoni right there, but I don't have an issue with your theory.
You reckon it's any good?
I mean, if you just did that voice and I would start listing off people who I thought it might be, I don't know if Dave Filoni would be on that list.
Blaster.
That's Omega. That's okay.
That's the only one I can do.
If they ever need someone to take over the role and just say Blaster.
Wrecker.
Oh, that's not bad.
Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. But in an interview with Rotten Tomatoes, Morrison revealed his new Disney Plus series will be taking Boba Fett in new directions, and that includes the past. His quote is, well, we can't say too much, but we are going to see his past and where he's been since The Empire Strikes Back. Somebody pointed out he's been kind of stuck in this one place, and now the time to actually go back in time and check out his journey and find out more about him. Listen, Emily, I'm not sure where you stand on this revelation that they're going to go back and cover some of his time in the original trilogy. But Bobby I is going to be swimming in cash this holiday. Doing this, I feel like is just going to be huge. It's going to just blow the show out of the water. To like people like complain about, it's all like nostalgia and all that, but dude, it works. And if you've got a good show that's got nostalgia, and I'm up for a light dash of Back to the Future 2ing, maybe seeing a scene or two from a different angle. But I think people are going to go crazy. This is going to get like such a, like for people that weren't watching The Mandalorian, and then to hear, it shows things that happen like during Empire Strikes Back, you're going to suck some jaded old men and women back in, maybe some dogs, back to the streaming service. What say you, Emily?
I mean, it's something you have to be careful with, because it's a fine line to walk, and it can become pretty goofy if you go too close to the edge on, hey, look, right over there is some stuff that we saw in the movie, and I'm over here, and like I'm just slightly off screen in the movie. That can get old.
What about if they do it right?
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm not saying they can't do it right, and I just think it's something that I hope they are reserved with how they do it. And also the thing is, I hope that it also is still moving the story forward, because I don't just want to be stuck in, hey, we fleshed all this stuff out, but then we only moved the story forward like 10 inches in terms of where Boba Fett is now.
Well, it's got to be like Godfather 2-ish, where there's two storylines going in different timelines that sort of feed into each other. And of course, there was the old, the EU, the Bounty Hunter War books, which was 2 or 3 timelines, following Boba Fett after Return of the Jedi, which at the time I loved. I thought it was so cool. But I would so love to see Jabba's palace in between Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. Like when Boba's like hanging out at Docking Bay 93 or 94, whatever one it is, one of the docking bays. I didn't do well in that, the trivia thing. Like in that era, I'd adore it.
I'll be very happy if Justin Hamilton finally gets to see Boba punch his way out of the Sarlacc pit. But, and I know people love the bounty hunters, and so we're going to be seeing a ton of bounty hunters. I do hope, as much as I don't want it to be cameo fest, which it definitely is going to be, but if we're going to get all of the old bounty hunters with their, hey, let's stick in some characters from the cartoons, give me Cad Bane.
Yeah, I think I've like, as far as like the character cameos and stuff, I've just accepted that, like with the Star Wars and Marvel, like this, that's what it's sort of, that's a big part of the ingredient.
Mm-hmm.
And so, just go with it and hope that they're good, sort of thing. Because it seems like a big part of the formula, and some people that like I am into it. You judge them as they come, but for a selection of fans just to have the crossovers, like that's like so satisfying. Like that's such a large chunk of satisfaction that then other things that are good or bad are sort of whatever sort of thing. Because like even in the comics, the main time I hear a positive response about them is when it's this other character, like it's a surprise character.
I mean, also, as long as it's not as jarring and as bad as the Rogue One, Dr. Evazan, and like that's one of the most egregious cameos I've ever seen in anything. Because that like grinds the movie to a halt for 10 seconds and then it just moves on.
That one was a bit egregious, I do have to admit. Why can't I get rid of this little ad window here? Just wait there. There we go. Let's go to the Obi Wan set, Emily.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they got the ad back up. What are we advertising? Amazon. Yeah, they need to get the word out. What are you doing, dude? I need you to stop. Oh, now he's talking. Wait. All right. I don't know what's going on. StarWarsNews.net. You're in league with Amazon. A company that has not brought my new extension cord on time, I've got to say.
How dare they?
But in LA, Ewan McGregor, yes, I can get rid of it now, spotted, black cloaked, space booted, walking across the set. Very exciting. I tweeted about this the other day. Is like people are like mocking that he's got this black cloak on, like saying, "Oh, we know what he looks like. We know his Jedi robes." However, once a shot comes out with him in his Jedi robes, everyone's going to lose them. Oh, it's just like how yeah. Like it's I think they're covering up for the right reasons.
And supposedly he's got different Jedi robes now, doesn't he? Didn't he say he's got a new outfit?
They are slightly different, yeah. But he's masked up. He's not. I'll just leave it. All the things good for Ewan, bad for other people.
How about that's just his outfit for the show?
Oh, he's
like escaped from a barber's.
No, he's okay. What about he's escaped from a barber's on the asteroid from Empire Strikes Back? So he's got the Breather mask on.
Oh, okay.
But he's still got the cloak. Now, the other thing is this might be Indira Varma on set here, and she is not cloaking up as well as Ewan. She has not had the experience of several Star Wars prequels. And if this is her, which many speculate it is, she is either an Imperial or she's disguised as an Imperial.
I mean, it definitely looks like her.
Yeah, well, there's this side-by-side shot. This is on StarWarsNews.net.
And I watched quite a bit of her in Rome, and that definitely looks and we need more female Imperials, and that excites me. I hope she actually is an Imperial and not in disguise, because I want more female Imperials and also more female villains in Star Wars.
I think she's an Imperial. She seems to be wearing it too well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And she could do that imperious thing that they all have going for them.
The what now?
Imperious, like very,
And this is another one. Does this not look like Peter Cushing is on set?
That's kind of creepy, actually.
So these photos are coming from at InfoMarWars. And this stormtrooper, he doesn't know how to use the mask or the cloak correctly, because I can see his nostrils and his stormtrooper knees, Emily.
I mean, why are you even trying to hide a stormtrooper?
They should just have the stormtrooper out the front of the set, like where everyone can see.
Oh, well, they're so weird about what they decide to tell us and what they decide not to tell us, which is almost everything.
Jordan Rennie, what are the chances of Obi Wan having the high ground during the series? Listen, that line in Revenge of the Sith, it stings with me that it is not like led up to, or it's never mentioned in like 7.5 hours of movie before it. So yes, I would prefer if we don't touch upon that. Let's just let it go. You know what I'm saying?
So no cameos for the high ground.
We can see some high ground in the background. You know, that's fine. But I just do not want any reference to that as it's bitter for me. Chris Willis does point out some sweet Obi-Wan boot reveals. Excellent. Hey, Emily.
Yes.
Oh, hey, do you know what I did today?
I don't.
This will shock you.
Okay.
I edited an episode of I Love Green Guide Letters.
What?
There's a lost episode. The last episode that ever got recorded.
Who is it with?
Nick Mason,
Okay.
Dill Rook, and Aaron Gox.
Well, that's a good lineup.
Yeah, it was. I'm considering recording a couple.
Oh, you've got to.
Well, we'll see. If you haven't checked it out, I Love Green Guide Letters, my old comedy podcast. That now with the Emily's walked off the set. Oh, she's got a tote bag. Nice. Yeah. Oh, and my other podcast that I do for the shop, Manchester Lane Radio. If you haven't checked that out, it's on YouTube as well. If you look up The Shore Store, and I just put up an interview with Nick Mason, hence why I was thinking about it, from the Weekly Planet, talking tram driving and podcasting and many things in between. Emily, you do a marvelous podcast. One that you send out veiled threats about running late to podcasts in, the Canto Bight Dispatch. Would you like to tell us about it?
Yeah. My friend Brittany Brown, your friend Brittany Brown, everybody's friend Brittany Brown, and I do the Canto Bight Dispatch. It is a Star Wars podcast mostly. We also like to talk about things like Gossip Girl, which we are very excited is being rebooted.
Oh my gosh.
And just whatever else happens to be coming along. You know, we're enjoying talking about the Bad Batch, but we are not the most serious or in-depth Star Wars podcast. But, you know, check us out wherever you find your podcasts, or look for us on Twitter and Instagram at Canto Bight Pod.
God, the Rogue Rebels are very excited about Gossip Girl. How do you feel about that new Gossip Girl? I'm not like...
It's good.
You know, I'm getting a bit, it's not my Gossip Girl about it.
It makes me feel very old.
I felt like I was watching a porn. It was like you hear about Harley Quinn and then Gossip Girl. It's all going on.
Like when I was rewatching the old Gossip Girl, I was at least able to be in the mindset of like I was not a teenager when that show was on, but I was also not in my, late 30s. So so it felt like okay for me to watch in a way that maybe this new show is not okay for me to watch.
I tell you something that just popped into my head. There was a scene Like, because how old are they? Like 15, 16?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. There is a scene of an orgy with more people than a good party that I would go to when I was 15. There's a staggering amount of people in this orgy. Like, it's we could barely get that many people in someone's sort of backyard back in Rosebud. So yeah, I don't know, but the old series, it's on HBO Max, and it's XOXO, so good, so good. Emily, I look forward to you talking Mendo with Brittany Brown on the next episode. You're recording one this week?
Yes, we record tomorrow night.
Excellent, because if you said the week after, that would have been quite
this is a vibe check.
Exactly. So help out that algorithm. Go check out the Canto Bight Dispatch. I will be back possibly, I think, with Corey and Aubrey on Thursday. But until then, may that force be with you. Well, I have to record bloody I got green guy got us now because bloody Catherine's heard me say it. She's going to hold me to it. Damn it.